Hi, I'm Sean Brown of Super Yacht News, and we're on board Motor Yacht Enchantress with Henk de Vries of Fedship, and we're also here with Chris of Cecil, Wright and Partners, who are actually representing Motor Yacht Enchantress. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for having me on board. I'm going to cut straight to the chase here. First of all, the opening question: what would you like to change about the industry? Maybe in the way you work within the industry, or maybe as a whole. So first of all, I'll start with you, Chris, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Well, as I was explaining before this interview, I think the answer to that question is that I'm continually looking for change, continually looking for things that we can do as a business that are better, slightly more innovative, certainly trying to keep our overheads to a minimum. I've been in the business, not as long as Henk, but 25 years or so. And the one thing that I've seen in these businesses is overheads just get out of control. So, and with out of control overheads, you have to keep very high commission levels, and that's not good for anybody. So we all like to make money, but if we can pass on the savings that we're making in our business by keeping overheads to a minimum, then all the better for everybody. So that's something we're continually working on.
And in terms of changing that, what are the overheads specifically in terms of?
Often it's manpower. Manpower costs money, and the way that the computer systems are going these days, customer relationship management tools that we're using, allow us to have fewer people. And databasing of yachts. The thing that we deliver to owners is knowledge about the market, really good inside knowledge about the market, and to maintain that data is a very time-consuming business. And we use very clever systems to do it, and that keeps our head count to a minimum.
It's good to see, actually. Sometimes it's quite easy to stagnate. It's like in this industry, so it's good to see that you're on the cutting edge of going forward with new processes, doing it that way. And Henk, if you could change anything in terms of new technologies or in any facet of business, how could we improve it? Which way would you do it?
Well, you run the risk of going into a very technical deliberation. We have we just produced a new concept boat, which is basically a transformer with batteries in the middle, engines on the side, and it all clicks together and floats out and falls apart, which is sort of cool. Yeah. But that's more showing off what is possible, and the idea is to tickle people's imagination, because I think the risk that you run in a business, I want to come back to that efficiency thing that you mentioned, because the way you spin it is different than what we do, but it's very similar. In any event, the new technology must be there, because otherwise why would somebody commission a new boat? I mean, he has a business, be it new or second hand, doesn't matter. I have only business if it's new, and a bit of business in refit, but the core of our business is new construction. Yeah. And if I build the same boring old boat over and over again, eventually my boring old boats of the past are going to come up for sale. And what I do not want is my clients compare the new product with the old product, because then it cannot be more expensive, and it must always be more expensive, if only because you have to turn a profit. Otherwise there's no point in being in this business. So what we try to do every time, we make the boats a little bit better, but it's more than just the boats, it's also the process. To make the process better is better project management when you're building. And project management, if you don't watch out, can become incredibly cumbersome with overheads, as you call it. It is a labor-intensive business we're in, but if the labor is not going into the product but in all sorts of bylines, then you're losing it. And I see that happening all the time. But almost more important than organizing the structure of how you build it, and the friendliness and the atmosphere and the fun of creating something together, is the actual usage of the boat. And that's the thing where the industry is currently, in my opinion, failing. There are management companies, but what do the management companies do? They take the client's money, they put it in bank accounts, and they disperse it as they see fit, quite often without any true knowledge. So what you need to do is you have to up the service, better the experience, so that people don't sell their boats. If they sell less, he has a better story to tell. And if there are too many on the market because they're all boring, or people are fed up with crew problems and stuff like that. So there's a lot of improving to do. And you're right in saying that we now command a rather sizable organization, so that allows us to, in each field, do things. We will always focus on the new construction, and because we're techno nerds from Holland, we will always do something with new concepts and cool things. But the bottom line is that company as a whole has to be profitable, and the product has to be exciting enough for people to step on board.
With the fact that you've still got to turn a profit, and then normally exploring new innovation and new technologies doesn't have a direct return right there and then.
We have to get that return on one project.
Exactly. So I guess as a new builder, you're in a nice position to be able to explore technology before anyone else, especially the smart technology on board. So
you can call it nice, but it's also a challenge. I mean, you have to know what you're doing. There are too many companies that fall on their face, both in your end of the business, because they just don't know what the hell they're doing. And it's also tempting. If you walk around this show, there are probably, as we speak, 100 kits with blocks and with amazing designs on them that don't work. And it's lovely that they do that, because they must. But please, watch out before you make any promise. So.
Yeah, because you need to be a sailor or actually know how a boat works before designing something.
Yeah, that helps.
I've seen it a lot. All right, gents. Well, where can we find Cecil, Wright and Partners at the show, and what are you doing?
This year we've got 3 locations. We're here on Enchantress at 35 metre Bonetti, probably the best of the 35 metre Bonetti class, I would say. You know, I would say that, but we've been managing it for the last few years, and it's I sold it to this owner I think 10 years ago, and he's really put a lot of money into it. So that's one. We're on the 55 metre Turquoise. It's behind us. Henry will be there all show, and then Claire and the charter team are over on the super yacht stand. Just to the left of the Tea Jetty.
Okay. All right, great. Well, hopefully everyone can go down and see you there.
Thanks very much.
And yourself, you've just announced the future concept this morning. And is there any other great news coming out of Fedship?
Watch this space.
Lovely. I can't wait to watch this space and watch this show. All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.